Hey everybody, in this episode of the Timeless After Show, we are back. Season 2, Episode 1, The War to End All Wars. Let's break it down.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
The Time After Time remix thanks to DJ Sammy.
Thanks to DJ Sammy.
Yes, thank you, DJ Sammy.
Yeah.
Welcoming us to the Timeless After Show. We're breaking on every episode of the season, airing Sunday nights on NBC. We're going to be covering down here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific. I'm one of your hosts, Frank Moran.
Oh, I didn't know we were going down the line. Hi, I'm Alexis Torres.
Hey, how's it going? My name is Kari Lane. And I'm Takira Shabrae.
And as always, folks, you can like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. While you're there, give it a thumbs up. And we're going to have the chat up and running, too, so feel free to hop in and share your thoughts about Timeless in general or this episode in particular. And if you're watching after we've streamed live, feel free to comment down below. Right
Frank,
there.
why don't you demonstrate?
Oh, it's right here.
Yay!
Yes. Yes. So we're going to break down this episode and talk about some of the specifics. But before we get into that, basically, this is a show that was canceled. For 3 days, this show had been canceled. And now it has come back. They've gone back in time. They rewrote history. And now we're looking for a second season.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did.
Mothership.
So let's take us back to last spring when they started announcing what was going to make it, what wasn't going to make it for the next TV season. And you found out Timeless was canceled.
Right.
How disappointed were you?
I was pretty disappointed, and I think this has been the awesomest fan turnaround. And this is a new word.
Yeah, no, I like it.
And it just really speaks to the fans and how much they were vocal online about it. Because there's very few shows that are like canceled. Oh wait, just kidding. So it's like, what? It's back? I mean, it was one of those like, so many shows get canceled, so we don't want to get our hopes up here.
No,
like,
of course not.
Yeah. So, but I was really excited it was back.
It shows the importance of the audience.
Yes.
So, and
Absolutely.
the power of the super fans. So that's pretty
Yes.
exciting.
Now, of course, the 3 of us covered it last season. You're new to the panel. What
Yes.
did you love about season 1?
I'm a really nerd when it comes to the whole history thing. So I loved the different characters and the different things that you learned. I mean, like most of everyone was like standing right beside Google. I had Google ready, like when they said something in the episode, and it was like so Google worthy. So I was that person. Either I knew a lot about it or I wanted to learn more. So it was really interesting that you got to learn, and then all of the twists and turns was really interesting. I couldn't keep up. Like I'm normally good at predicting what will happen, and it kept twisting and turning.
Well, there was a great interview that Alan Sepinwall from Up Rocks had with Sean Ryan, one of the creators of the show, and just talking about what's it like to come back for season 2. How does that kind of refocus your priorities and how you view a second season when you're kind of brought back from the brink of it possibly being all over? So he kind of retweeted a few things in terms of things that we'll talk about a little later, laying in a little bit more of the Rittenhouse sleeper agents to give them more antagonists to follow than just Garcia Flynn.
Yeah.
So I think that was a strong idea. And then basically that they weren't going to hold back. When you're introducing a huge conspiracy, you start to kind of slow play it because you never know how long you're going to last.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And he said this season they're not going to hold back. So they're going to end season 2 on a place where, hey, it could be a great ending for the show, but with enough little threads that if they wanted to do season 3 and it gets picked up,
good.
they can continue
Because
on.
this has so many levels going on that I want more revealed sooner. Because we've been strung along for a whole season about Rittenhouse. We need more info.
And Garcia
Yes.
Flynn.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And
there
his
were
relationship to Lucy.
Right.
We need to know. He's like, I only talk to her.
Before we jump into, we're about to learn some new things, but if you're also interested in learning about a lot of new different things, we here at AFTERBUZZ have a new podcast that you should check out, and that's Conversations with Maria Menounos. She's the AFTERBUZZ TV founder here, and she's now got a podcast that drops every single Friday for free. So basically, Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition has celebrity and influencer interviews, talks about wealth, family, health, lifestyle, you name it, she talks about it. Let Maria be the big sister you never had. That's Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition. Subscribe to it on iTunes, and when you do, let Maria know that it was us that got you there. Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition. Maria Menounos, how about I say that in two words? Podcast edition, check it out.
For free 99.
Yes, for free 99.
Free 99.
So the war to end all wars. We got a couple different storylines, but the most important is how did everybody survive from last season to get to this season here? Because there were some. Lucy finds out some big secrets.
Yep.
Right.
So things are revealed.
We even get more like later on in the episode too.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my brain.
Right. The big one for me was Mama is Rittenhouse. That was like the big hang up, and then it makes you question whether or not Amy was even an accident, like having birthed and getting rid of. Which one was the true accident? It's a big one for me.
And it does make me wonder: was everything that happened in the first episode, was that something that Rittenhouse was having plans for to keep her mother healthy, because she was incredibly ill, almost on her deathbed? So was that something that they had planned for?
I mean, maybe. I mean, because the fact that I don't know if we'll ever get back to that timeline or find out what actually happened in that timeline. I'm assuming that maybe she got out, or maybe they did it to her, so because she just didn't want to do it anymore, so they made her sick in some way, shape, and form, so that she would kind of be pushed out without actually killing her. I guess that was my theory, though.
It wasn't super surprising though, because if the dad's that deep in it, it makes sense that the mom would be too. Yeah. And then it's like, then you bring in the kids.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why they got rid of the daughter too. Is like she was like, no, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Before our Lucy could have had a chance.
Well, that's certainly been Lucy's thing, especially for season 1, was I got to get my sister Amy back.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, I've got to do that. And even at the end of last season, they finally had they give her approval to go back and save her sister.
Yeah.
And we find out in this episode that Emma, who's a Rittenhouse Sleeping agent,
villain lady.
I made sure I went back in time. I did 10 missions. I'm making sure that your sister is never coming back.
Oh, it's a heartbreak.
God, I wanted to just punch her in the face so hard. I was just like, you son of a...
But is this a villain we like, though? Because in terms of, like, you just hate her that much. Like, foiled again.
I mean, well, I guess it's one of those, because I can't, like, she's also, like, a rule breaker, but she also does it because she wants to follow the rules. I don't like that. I'm like, you need to pick one or the other. You can't have both things.
I think she's Queen Sabotage, for sure. I think she holds more power than we know, for sure. I think, I know that's like the horrible thing to say, but Lucy's mom, so-called calls the shots in this little group, but I think Emma is extremely powerful, and that she will in turn be the one to just run it all, whether it be killing everybody. I mean, something. She has a lot of power.
Well, it was interesting from last season. She kind of took almost, I want to say, like a back seat to Garcia, but she wasn't as in the forefront and as kind of malicious as we see her this season,
Right.
or at least in this episode.
No, but I mean, I agree with you, because I feel like a lot of the ladies at least in this episode specifically, have kind of turned a little bit, which I'm fine with, because I wanted some different evolution, which we'll get to, especially with the boys. But I feel like that it was like, they were kind of put in the background kind of thing, and now we're kind of like, oh wow, their personality is really coming out in this episode,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really like it.
It's interesting.
Yes, I'm curious to find out just what Emma's pecking order is in terms of the Rittenhouse scheme of things, because I feel like, of course, she makes the comment to Lucy that's like, I wasn't born into this.
Yeah.
That she's had a
She's
struggle to
very
get what she's wanted.
jealous.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's why I think she's Queen Sabotage.
No, I agree.
All day.
Yeah.
True, I feel like she could turn her back and stab anybody, as long if it's going to move her up in the ranks.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
That's why I don't like her.
So we see that Lucy, her mom, and Emma's adventure take place back in 1918 in France. During World War I, we get to see them meet Madame Curie and her daughter Irene.
That was really cool. And Lucy totally fangirling, like, do I curtsy? Do I bow?
Yeah, I love
her. She was so excited.
That was really cool.
And it was, things even I didn't realize that X-ray machines were that mobile even back then, which I was really cool to learn about that episode.
Oh yeah, and radiation's totally safe.
Oh,
I was like, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
I like that Lucy's face is like,
I just don't know.
Yeah.
They'll
figure it out
can't
later.
tell her too, so you're like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, when she's saying, come closer, and like,
I'm good.
Just kidding. It's perfectly safe.
Yeah, I'm like, that's all right.
Their likeness really got me though, because the characters that played Marie and Irene look so much like the real Marie and Irene. I mean, it's like spot on. So shout out to the casting team of those. That's really cool.
And it was for them now looking back and realizing how important they were and the great contribution they made. For them at the moment when they are coming to them for help, thinking, "Oh, you're gonna be too busy. You can't help us." Like, "Oh no, we got nothing. We can do this."
Yeah, that's fine.
They want to save someone. That's their job.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we're ready.
Look at them. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm looking at the
Good
gift.
image.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're so ready to work.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really, really cool.
We see, of course, that back then is that Emma, not sure about where Lucy's loyalties lie, when they this person that they're waiting for to arrive at this cabin that they have shows up. A friend of theirs is bringing him in. He sees too much, and so they need to eliminate him.
Guys.
And Emma gives that gun to Lucy and says, "Take care of this. We got to see what you got."
Right. If Lucy was really gangster, she would have just took everybody out with that gun. But whatever.
She can't
the
kill
show
her
would.
scene,
I was
though.
about to say the show would have ended
Yeah.
too soon.
I have qualms with this moment.
Oh,
Okay.
what
Yes.
are
Yes.
your
I agree with you, or it would have been just like, I mean, I don't know how I would have felt if she had to like just shoot up everybody in the
Right,
beginning.
yeah.
So I understand where you're coming from on that, but I did hope for like a fight in that, because she's so different in the first season of how she like really stands for what she believes in. She doesn't really give in to stuff and things like that. But I also understand where she's coming from, where she's like, I thought everyone was dead. I didn't have an out.
She was
so
ready to commit suicide.
yeah,
essentially.
like
yeah.
so it was hard because I was like, you're smarter than this. You could have totally problem solved this in a different way and made this work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also understood that you're at the end of your rope. So that's why I'm like, I'm in the middle
Right.
because I wanted you to be better. But so yeah, I don't know. I have mixed
Yeah.
feels about it. But I was also proud of her at the same time.
Well,
so.
she gets her scene later with
Yeah.
Wyatt of like, I
Yes.
killed someone today, kind of like how Rufus had a scene like that last season.
Yeah, and I
So
liked
they-
they kept that too.
Yeah.
The fact that she was completely like a human would. Where
Yeah.
you've killed somebody for the first time and she was broken up about
And
it.
an innocent person too.
Yeah, because I definitely would have been more upset if she was just like, I'm fine, everything's fine. I would
Well,
have
Right.
been like, girl.
Yeah.
I might have been okay if she killed the Rittenhouse guy, because
Yeah,
then she
yeah.
knows like this will hurt Rittenhouse,
Yes,
so there
I
has a
agree.
motive. But like
But he
this
was
random
completely-
dude,
Yeah, you don't know
Yeah.
anything about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is that moment though after she shoots him where she has her back to her mom and Emma, where you just see her just like, no.
Is it weird that I had like a soap moment because it was like zooming in a certain way, and I was like, why is she turning the other way? And I was like, oh
Doesn't
wait,
wanna
she's
show the face.
yeah. She didn't want to show her mom what she was feeling, and I was like, oh okay.
oh, she's
I was
space. She
watching General
definitely
Hospital.
went somewhere else.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
okay, and she's like,
Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
a weird pan because it went from like it happened, but she was looking at the guy, and then when it cut back, it was the mom, and then panned to her looking in the opposite direction. And I was like, "What's happening? What did I miss? I was making pizza rolls. What's going on?"
She had so much emotion, like change of emotion in this episode. I mean,
Yeah.
you could tell she had a lot on her mind. The blank stares, even down to at the very beginning of the episode, she seemed all chipper that she was now with Rittenhouse. Like it's kind of like the writers wanted us to believe that Lucy's now on the dark side, but then she had that blank stare, obviously.
I didn't believe it.
in the back.
Yeah, I was like,
I
what?
don't think we.
She didn't have a choice.
The only thing she'd be excited about is going in time. That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Well, even the awkward,
And the fangirling moment.
Yes.
her Lucy's face at the end of the episode before she heads out first, that like awkward smile she has on her
Yeah,
face.
I was very
Like,
confused.
She's
oh.
trying to smile.
Yeah.
It was very
so-
eerie.
It was
Yes.
definitely forced, but I couldn't tell what was happening, so I was like, "What are you smiling at?"
Yeah.
And also her point too that Emma would have killed him anyways.
Yes, I
So-
agree. Yeah. Either way, that poor
Yeah.
man would have died, but
Yeah.
it was just weird at that moment.
Yeah, it's if anybody had seen her that awkward smile, like I don't think you're really into this.
Yeah.
Are you,
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see why Emma was like, "You sure about that?"
So that is 1/3 of our timeless team there. We find the other two though. Present day, we kind of follow up what happens at the end of last season. Where we're like, hey, we're gonna get the the lifeboat. We're gonna go. We're gonna save Amy. And they see that there's a bomb set up to detonate.
Whoops.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that like they didn't get more injured. I mean, the lifeboat is
Right.
Yeah, but
dirty.
it was open.
The door was open.
Yes. Like, what?
I would have almost liked it better if somehow Wyatt was able to shut a door.
That's what I thought he did, but when you saw his
know,
back, and I was
yeah.
like, wait, your back should be completely torn
And how
off.
are the
but
others
okay.
okay too? And they weren't even in there.
There's like 22 of
Yeah,
them that
'cause
were
I didn't-
found.
I didn't
Yeah,
understand.
but
that.
our main 3 sidekicks that survived,
Yeah,
besides the pilots
four,
and
yeah.
navigation, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like, how were they okay?
I mean, I'm assuming that they were just not in the building, maybe.
Well, shouldn't
But
Yeah.
well, because we couldn't see the rest
Yeah.
of what was going on
Not really.
outside, so
Yeah.
I don't know where everybody was at.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We do jump ahead 6 weeks, and we get to see those nice little gashes on the back of
Yeah, I
Wolverine's
definitely
back.
thought his
Oh,
back
come on.
would have been more torn
How
out.
many people are freaking... I bet so many viewers were all excited about his towel scene at the mirror.
I mean, yeah, come on.
That
come
towel
on.
looked very secure, though.
Thank you. Yeah,
Right.
I know.
That never looks like how I have a towel,
Yeah.
but... Yeah.
We've been waiting for that shirtless scene. This just wasn't what we were expecting.
Yeah, no. The good
oh.
effects though, because they look like
They did. They looked
Painful.
awful.
Gotchas.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was kind of
underwater. You're like, oh,
And I was also
yeah.
kind of worried because I was like, is that water actually clean though?
Yeah.
Because they're
Probably
in
not.
abandoned bunkers. So I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Infection is a thing.
Yeah.
Damn it, I guess you don't want to drink it. But maybe wash
No,
it
but
with
you
it,
can wash it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I was just worried.
Yeah, it was very fan service.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, certainly there's a little moment there I want to ask all you about in terms of restroom etiquette. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that was kind of funny.
that was actually
That was
really
pretty
funny.
there you go. Now, of course,
No,
she
wait.
says.
What, you said you had a question?
Yeah, yes. In
Okay.
terms, like she said, hey, put something outside the
Yeah.
door, like we all agreed on.
Yeah.
That's what you do. And Wyatt's thing was like, no, you should just knock.
Well, no,
So-
she said put the chair on the door.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
there was a chair behind the door. I guess you're supposed to put that as like a lock because you can't actually lock the door.
Well, would you just knock?
Well, no, she should have knocked.
I thought it was like a chair outside the door.
Or maybe,
like
yeah.
someone was in, not like as a lock, but I thought both. Either it's
because there was a
blocking
chair because there was a chair near the door.
Inside, yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. We should okay.
it. Yeah. Or I thought like outside the door. Like,
Yeah, something.
Yeah, something
Just-
to visual cue that you're like, oh, someone's in there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you on the whole lock thing because that's not the only door that comes up that they want it to be known specifically that they are locked inside. They are
Yeah.
not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
Agent
Yep.
Christopher said, look, if a door's locked, it's because I'm controlling it. So
Yeah.
they're kind
Yeah.
of holding them hostage until
Yeah.
this thing is solved. So
Yeah.
Also, I just heard like my grandmother's like words where she's like, you knock if you're gonna come into a room. That's just what you do. And even if there's not
Especially
even a door.
restroom.
Yeah, exactly.
Double check.
Because I mean, even though
Yeah.
it's like a public restroom,
Yeah.
you're clear. It's like it's your own personal bathroom.
Yeah.
It's just the three of you in here.
Yeah.
Like there's a lady present. Like what if the roles were switched?
Yeah, that's
Where
true,
he
yeah.
just burst through the door. Like it
Well,
just.
we would hope she would have her towel up here and
Yes.
not on her waist.
I mean,
Well, yeah, well,
I
maybe
would've-
not for me. But
I was like, I don't know, if you're at home, who cares?
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
look at there, you walked in at
Yeah.
the
Or
right
then she'd
time.
be like, what?
Yeah.
New shipping.
Yeah. No, Rufus, no. But like, yeah, but it's same thing. I agree. Where it's kind of like, if think about it, if the roles were reversed, would you like it if he bust in, through the door and you were driving off?
Then you should say, yeah, you should knock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where that would come into play. But yes, if you have a locking mechanism on the door, you
I mean, it should be
use
the
it.
same.
They're both
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She
But
could have
it's not
protected
everywhere.
That was, I liked it. We got to like both through it. Perfect answer. All right.
Yeah, we still don't know.
Thank
We
you.
don't know if it's the chair or the knock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which came first?
What we saw from last season, though, is that after her experiences there on a lifeboat, that Gia'S she had a vision.
Seizures,
Yeah.
too.
Uh,
Well, essentially, she's passing out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not quite
Visions.
seizing.
And
Yeah.
visions,
Yeah.
though.
'cause
Yeah.
she-
That's what I'm most excited to know about season 2. Is
Yes.
what's Gia'S powers, so to speak, because it's kind of left of can
Yeah.
she tell the future? Can she tell the past without having the time machine? I mean, I'm so intrigued by Gia right now, so I'm so excited.
Same.
I just hope we see more soon instead of just like we're
Waiting
passing
on
out
it.
a couple
Yeah.
times and like the last
Yes.
episode
Yeah.
they do something.
Oh
wait,
really?
really?
Last one.
Yeah.
The bridge.
Give us a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Yeah.
the same because
Yeah.
I feel like we got a lot of her being just like the love interest who's really smart in the background of season 1, but now that we have this big thing with her, I hope that it's not going to be like, all right, we know that there's something wrong with Gia, but we're not going to talk about it until like when it's absolutely necessary, which is 10 episodes in.
Yeah.
So,
It was such an interesting thing to add to the end of last season. You're like, wow, all right, just to not see more of it,
Yeah,
or at least more explanations about what it is.
but I'm also
Right.
very worried about her as
Yeah.
well because I'm like, if you're passing out like twice a day,
Yeah.
clearly something's not.
Yeah.
By noon.
Something's not fine,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I know how they have it like a schedule. They're like,
Oh,
you
he's
passed
like,
out
it's only
twice
been
by
noon.
noon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
You're
Man,
tired.
he's watching her a lot if he knows.
But also,
I think
she's
he's
not
intrigued.
saying what she's seeing.
No,
I think,
exactly.
Like, when
No,
she's saying,
not
like,
really.
oh, I saw
no, I think
this.
she's just worried because they're
Yeah.
already held accountable for what's happening now. Like, if she has powers, like the government's gonna poke and prod her too.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. Speaking of somebody that is also kind of struggling right now, that's Connor Mason.
Yeah.
Yes, everything kind of blew up. His company blew up. Lots of people, 22 people died.
Is anybody a little worried that he keeps rewatching that video over and over, or is that just because
Well,
he's
it's
just like,
Like, He's in the hole of depression, essentially, of like you're rewatching. It's a short explosion though. I'm like, that's a lot of loops.
That's a lot of loops. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think he feels he has no purpose right now.
No, I think that he needs to step up. I think that, you know, we find out that in 1910, this Mr. Keynes guy wrote, you know, of course, I'm sure get into it, but said something about the time machine, and then Connor Mason invented the time machine, and it's like Rittenhouse placed all these puzzles like he knew that he was going to invent the time machine, and now it's like taken from him, so it's like his only purpose. So I think he has this whole grief, he's going through these grief steps of, you know, not really having another purpose in life. So I think, you know, at that point of being so weak, that's when you kind of tend to go to the enemy side. So I need him to kind of like,
man, I've been calling that since day one.
Yeah.
Also, thank you. That was a really good explanation.
Yeah. I think he needs to either, you know, grab his cojones and
You know,
Or he points out now not being like just rich and comfy for so long, everything's pretty rusty, that he's like, oh, I actually have to like do stuff.
I gotta work.
I did think that was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the thing when you become like the top level
Like
executive.
a CEO,
That you're so far away from the thing that you initially got into doing that you loved, and now through management you've moved away from it.
Yeah, true.
Right.
To go back to it, you're like, oh yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah, back to basics. Oh, how does that work again?
You mean I have to get my own coffee?
It can't just appear. I don't ask a person to bring it to me.
Yes.
It's like
Oh,
Steve
gosh.
Jobs not knowing how to work the iPhone. It's like, what's his home button thing again?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
that's right.
We don't need this anymore.
Right. Exactly.
Scan my face.
My one little technical nitpick about Connor watching that video again and again of the warehouse exploding was that it was the same vantage point that we had.
Yeah, and I
So
was
it's
like,
I always feel like,
where did the what?
Say it one more time.
oh, that
at the
my
beginning.
little nitpick about Connor watching that, because it was the same vantage point that we saw from the beginning of the episode. So it's like, oh, so that was just like,
There's a camera on top of his car.
I guess.
There's a
just
camera
from the parking
facing
lot.
the building, you know, duh, like a bank
In the middle.
or something, or whatever.
I feel like it's always a
It's
cheap
just
way
a
out.
convenient,
Yeah.
No,
is there camera footage?
Yeah.
Oh, that just
Like it should
happens
have been
to
from
me.
the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like from a
something.
different angle or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked like it was on top of someone's car. You know,
Stock
our camera
footage.
rig.
No. Yeah.
So Wyatt and Rufus, though, once they get the lifeboat up and running, though, this is the mission. Who cares what you say, Agent Christopher? We got to go back and get Lucy. And Wyatt was taking a no for an answer. He wasn't.
Yeah.
Nope.
We're getting her back.
It's
That's
his
right.
second chance. His second chance of saving a woman he loves. So
Oh, I don't know. He's not admitting it though. No.
I mean, that's
Out
definitely.
loud.
We definitely know. It's okay.
Whatever.
We get it.
We
It's
know.
fine.
Yeah, no, it's
We
good
know.
Rufus calling him out on
Yeah,
it. Finally.
and
like,
especially on the
dude,
first
come
episode
on.
too, because I was
Yeah.
really scared that he was just gonna like pretend
Right.
that
Yeah.
it
He's
wasn't
like-
happening. And
He's
I was
like, we're not doing this for another 10 episodes.
Yeah.
We need to get this
no,
through.
we're gonna talk about this right now.
We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
this right now.
Yeah.
that's funny.
I did think, I don't know how you guys felt about it. I mean, because sure, you got to move the story along. But they're meeting up again.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
like
Yeah.
awfully convenient.
Oh, I know, right? That they're in the same tent. I was
Yeah.
like, wow,
All right.
okay.
Well, maybe he was like stalking her and knew she was going to that tent. It kind of
No.
like saw her. And, okay, yeah.
But
Just
I
terribly
want to
convenient.
believe that. I want to believe that
Yeah.
so much. Or like the
Yeah.
fact that maybe he heard somebody
Yeah.
ruffling in, so he went in there. I don't know. But it was way too like, oh my God. I've been looking
It's
for you
meant
all
to
my, I mean,
be.
it's just right
It's
now.
fate.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's fine. I'll take it up. Just serendipitous right
Yes,
there.
exactly.
Because I was thinking if I landed back in 1918 France and I was looking for just a person, like, yeah, all right, I guess I'll start
check every
walking around.
tent.
Yeah, I guess. Sure, all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it up to the fact that he needed weapons, so he had to go find the weapons tent, and
Yeah.
it
Right.
just happened.
Yeah. It's
Literally
I'll take
just
that.
happened
Yeah.
to be in the same tent.
It was the captain's tent, right?
Or
no?
ammunition
No, just
tent.
ammunition.
Oh, weapons.
It was just
Yeah.
ammunition.
in general.
Yeah.
So it makes sense
Okay.
of going
Yeah.
there to find some weapons.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
was.
Oh,
No,
go ahead.
no. I
was
wanted
like-
you to continue.
Oh
from
yeah,
there.
that is one thing that they bring up, which I think is going to be interesting this season, is that without having Connor Mason's resources, when they go back in time now, it's going to be up to them to find clothes that are native to that time period and scrounge on to get what they need to be able to succeed.
Which
Yep.
they've
Yeah.
done before.
Yeah.
So like when they've been like, whoops, we have to get there. They have to
Whoops.
find it. Yeah.
I feel like it's just gonna
They
be a lot
just-
of whoops
Yeah.
that are happening in this season
Yeah.
now
Right.
because we don't have resources anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was
It's like
gonna.
Time Traveler's Wife.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I miss that movie.
I just started the
Like
book.
you can't see the
No,
movie
I
again.
don't have because I used to have the DVD there, and my ex-boyfriend has it. Oh, it makes me sad. That's why I miss it.
Neil,
Well, I just started reading
No,
the
Neil,
books.
you
no,
need to
no,
go
not
get it,
Neil.
Neil.
Oh, tell me to
Neil.
go get it.
do this, Neil.
New
Go
gift,
get her
yeah.
this, go get her this video.
Yeah.
You don't need a mothership for that.
Yeah.
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 Well,
What I think was interesting is I felt like with Garcia, when he was taking around time traveling last season, he would be a little more conspicuous about where he was going to park the ship. And this time, these guys just plunged right down in the middle of the battlefield.
I love that.
Boom, right there.
My favorite.
They don't care.
And they're ready just to eliminate anybody that sees it. Like, you didn't even bother to hide this guy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's the rules. We have to kill people who see it.
Like, I was like, because you left it out.
And if you never say what it is, it's probably going to be okay. That nobody's going to be like, I saw a time machine today.
Yeah.
I saw a weird thing, is what they would
I
say.
saw a weird orb that's the size of a building.
Yeah.
Well, UFOs are kind of, people were like freaked out a little bit. Yeah, it could be like some modern house, like, oh, Victorian era? No, this is the Mothershipian area. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Aryan, whatever.
Yeah, you never know. Someone could have been like, oh, maybe I can make my house look like that.
Yeah.
Tiny house.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, because it is at the end of the episode when they are heading back and Marie Curie and her daughter show up there as well. Because they're looking for what's interfering with the X-ray as they're trying to do that for the
Which I was like,
Rittenhouse person that
what
they're
is
trying to
happening?
save. But it's like, oh, we heard about this, so we came over here. Like, I would imagine if you heard that there was some weird thing that you'd never seen before, everybody would be over there.
Yeah,
Like,
it wouldn't be just the two of them.
like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
what is this?
Well, they probably hadn't gotten that far away, and then they probably were still that little nag at the back of the head, like what was bothering it, and then they find it, and I was like, you can't kill them. I bet they're like their touch on history would be too big to like remove.
And she knew that. They both did, except for Emma, because she didn't really care, because again, she's following the rules to not follow the rules. So I was like, what is happening?
So glad she did it.
MJ in the chat, how have they not invented a cloaking device for the ship?
Thank you.
Just like
That
the
is a
military
big
make it
part.
reflect, like
Yeah.
not invisible, but at
Agents
least
of
like a
S.H.I.E.L.D. can
mirror.
do it. You guys can do it too. Let's go.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
Get on top of it.
So it does all come down to where Lucy gets reunited, but says, I got to stick with my mom. I got to stick with Emma because I thought you guys were dead, and I already have a plan. So I'm going to follow it and see what you guys can do to help me out.
Yeah.
So, so it all comes down to basically, hey, Emma's going to kill Amy, or Lucy, or Wyatt is going to go kill the Rittenhouse person that they're supposed to be bringing back to the present day.
The grandfather, and how crazy is that?
So wait, if he killed him, would that mean Lucy wouldn't exist?
And Lucy's mom. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very
because-
confused how that was going to work out. Either way, whoever died at this point in time, besides Lucy, would have rewritten history in a weird way for sure, and that's including our ladies too, the lady scientists.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's kind of, you think about it, Nicholas Keynes, which is the person that they saved, he was supposed to die that day. I don't really think it would have mattered because he died that day, so clearly
somebody
that
else is pregnant out
clearly
there or has a
whoever-
baby,
he's,
something.
he's kind of sowed his royal oaths.
I
and
didn't even think about that.
you know, they're all kind of, they're already.
Look at you, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
I missed that completely.
Which I guess means why you could take him to 2018 and not worry about disrupting anything because
Yeah, because he was
considered
technically
dead.
supposed to die.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
The other thing we see too is that since there are sleeper agents, we do see one earlier in the episode, and he's got a cell phone. Of course, no cell service, but it does have a bunch of
Notes.
documents and stuff on
Yes.
it.
Yeah, which I thought was really, really cool.
So interesting.
I love that. I think that was my favorite thing of this episode was the fact that Rittenhouse, even though I feel like sometimes the organization is really good and then really not at the same time, but I love that they have sleeper agents all over time. Like, how crazy is that?
It's scary
to think about.
It's really scary, and I didn't really pick up on that until this episode. I mean, some of the fans picked up on that last season.
Really?
Yeah, like at the very end. But I didn't really pick up on that.
No, I did not pick up on that at
It was
all.
completely new for me.
So cool.
Because I feel like that is a thrust for season 2 to really deliberately put those sleeper agents
Right.
in.
Sure.
I'm so glad they did because you don't want to get bored just chasing one person around. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
this
True.
adds so many twists and turns.
But it
that
also
could lead
helps
to.
because now it explains a lot of why. Oh my God, I'm forgetting our baddie from last season. What's his
Flynn.
name? Thank you, Flynn, and how he was able to kind of. I mean, he had the journal, but able to like find Rittenhouse like people all over time in its
Right.
own aspect. Even though he was again following the journal, just the fact that there might have been traces everywhere because of the fact that there was sleeper agents doing things in time.
Now, are the
Yeah.
sleeper agents from the time they're from, or have they been placed there?
No, I think that they've been placed there.
Okay.
Placed
Yeah.
there for sure. But for how long? That's the question. Because
Well, Emma, they were
We
saying
know-
for 10 years.
yeah, exactly.
Which is crazy
like,
to me, 'cause
how
I'm like-
long?
In a cabin in the woods, no thanks.
Yeah, like
Right.
you know, especially because it depends on like what time you're in too. Like,
Yeah.
Like I feel like people
Any
would just
little
go
thing
crazy.
could kill you, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, there is a
I'm like,
certain
what
age
happens
gap.
if you
Modern
die?
medicine and things?
Right.
Yeah,
Oh, no
oh,
thanks.
yeah. I was
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss
It's
out.
like you're in Europe in the 19th century. Like what?
No, thank you. A lot of people have picked up on, and I also really like the comment how Rufus says, "What is the manifesto saying?" He said they want to make a world somewhere between Hunger Game and Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, such a great analogy. I was like, yes.
Both amazing stuff in movies
pieces of
and
work,
books
yeah.
and shows.
Yeah.
So
That was really cool.
because some people are like, "What's Handmaid's Tale?" It's a really good show.
Oh, just look it up.
And it's a really
It's
good
won
book.
awards. How do you not know about
It's
this
amazing.
show?
Right?
I popped on the late bus because it was one of
fine.
those
That's all right.
things.
Yeah, that's fine.
It was one of those things. I was like,
But
okay,
you've
I've heard
seen it.
of it.
But
yeah,
you've heard of it, though.
I've heard, and when I say heard of it and seen it, I mean like it's like 2 months ago. So
Yeah, but that's fine.
But
Yeah,
it's still worth
yeah.
watching. So if you
Yes.
haven't, you watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then rewind of the sleeper agents, because what if they place them there and then something of the local time kills them?
Yeah.
Right.
Like
It's
they
like
get a splinter and it gets infected and they die.
Yeah.
Like that's how.
Yeah.
No, they
15
died from
years.
using leeches to take out whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you never know. I don't
no.
know. That's
It's
just
radiation safe. Yeah.
I'll never get over that. I was like,
But I also guess that's why they seeded so many, because of
makes
those
sense.
things. You got to be able to hedge your bets on
Yeah.
that.
And how do you keep track? That's what I would like to know. If you can't even make a cloaking device for your mothership, how do you keep track of all of these sleeper agents all over time?
Right.
It's
And
on the cell phone. It's in the
Oh my
documents.
god, I can't.
I mean,
Movie magic,
yes,
no.
yes.
So at the end of the episode, we get to see they rescue Lucy. They bring her
Yeah.
back. Hooray! Lucy's right there, and her and Wyatt have a little moment. That conveniently, through anytime you're shipping somebody, is always interrupted.
Yeah.
Seconds away before your lips touch the other person's lips, somebody always enters the room.
Clock
Yes.
busting.
Yes.
How dare they?
disappoints all fans. But I love the emotion behind that.
Oh,
Yes.
she's like starting to turn his
I
head.
know, I was like,
And he's kind of like, what? Oh,
oh,
okay.
is this happening? Okay.
Right.
I'm
And-
ready.
Right.
No, that's me. Just being like, okay. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Right.
I always wonder because we've all seen that happen so many
Yeah.
times in any types of
Just
movies or TV
kiss.
shows.
Do it. Now,
You would think like
please.
even if they got interrupted and that person leaves to go like, all right, we
Go
got
right back.
I know. Like,
Yes.
they're just like, nope, moment's gone.
Yeah.
We're good.
Even if it's not gonna be as intense, just like a little smooch and then let's go. Why not? I don't know.
No, it's just shake hands
Yeah.
and walk out.
Shake it.
High five.
Or you could be kissing and then they like turn and both kind of look and then go back.
Or just raise their finger up.
Stop! Don't interrupt again.
This is very important.
Yes.
You guys had your moment last season.
So how many episodes do you think it'll be before they actually smooch? For realsies.
episode.
if they
Last episode.
if they wait till the last episode, I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna say how many? I don't know how many episodes we have this season.
10.
We only have 10.
IMDb said 10.
5. I'm gonna say
All
5
right.
episodes in.
Well, I always feel like Wyatt, in his awkwardness, not be able to say exactly how he feels when Lucy's there. I've lost everything, but you haven't lost. Me.
Yeah.
All right, Wyatt. Very,
Great job, buddy. It's just like you're doing great, sweetie. Go ahead.
It's like, come on, baby's dead. So wait, you said 5?
I said 5.
I'll go with 7.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, that's really close to the end, but I understand what you
It
mean.
could be.
So, yeah.
Could be one of those.
Timeless. Don't do this to us.
What do you think?
I really want to say 3 or else I'm like flipping tables. But I'm around like the 4,
Okay.
5 area. I'll just say 4 just because.
Chapter
Yeah.
saying 3 to 4.
I,
Yeah, okay,
I
nice.
say like 3
I thought
to
you
4
were
for
like
sure.
5 and
Yeah.
on.
I'm like, no. I mean, I've watched enough Bollywood movies, so I'm like, no,
Same.
they don't. They like,
And then, oh my god.
And you're like,
that's so
no!
weird.
But that makes you so excited, and then
Ugh.
finally, when it does happen, it's a great payoff.
It needs to be 3.
What do you think, Frank?
I mean, I'm hoping the fact that they want to put the pedal to the metal and not hold things back. I want to say the next episode.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
just do it.
Okay.
Let's just
Yeah.
get
I
smooching.
hope everyone's paying attention to our bets.
Yes.
Because we'll probably forget.
Chat room is saying 3 to 4, and
Yeah.
then you're early.
I'm
and
solid.
then-
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
say
then
solid
two-
3.
Mine's
Two.
next
So
episode.
second
yours-
episode, so
Bump, 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 bump.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this will be
2, 3,
interesting.
yes.
5, 7. 2, 3,
Yeah.
5, 7.
Because I feel like there's so much more to explore in that relationship than just their first kiss.
Mm-hmm.
So if they
yeah.
drag that out,
Oh, yeah.
then that's going to be
Yeah.
like I don't want to see the end of the season where they finally kiss and like, well, we never really got to address
Like,
this relationship. And now,
Right.
who knows?
Like
Find out next season on
Yes.
Timeless.
after episode 5, I'm like finding another guy for her. I'm like, you took too long.
I
Like,
mean,
that
it
guy
could
in the
happen.
back, you know, that's supposed to die of like, you know, whatever, pneumonia in 10 years. So you just pick him.
God.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Anyway.
I'm finding another guy.
It's gonna happen in the 5th episode, and then we're gonna go back to a time where he's gonna see his lady, and then it's just gonna be just erupting. It's gonna suck.
Oh.
That's a good twist.
Yeah.
I kind of want them to see themselves too, because they keep bringing like, oh, you can't go back to a time when you see yourself.
Yeah.
I want that to be an oops moment. Just
It's
to
gonna
be like,
have to happen.
Oh,
Whoops.
excuse me.
We were already
Sorry.
here.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a little strange.
So we end
Ooh,
the
they
episode.
meet them old, like their old selves together.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
that's cute.
But
that'd be
that's
nice.
future. We haven't really gone to the future.
No, not yet.
That's
yeah,
cute.
which I would like to.
No, that would be interesting
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's Gia's thing. That's her point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. I feel like that's the season 3 tease.
Yeah.
The end
We're
of
actually
the-
going into the future.
Yeah. The last shot of season 2, they open it up the time ship and they're in the future, and then it's always like some cool flying vehicles.
Yeah.
This guy's
Yeah,
gonna be
some
like-
weird buildings that are floating. Are like,
yeah, and they're like,
Yeah.
whoa.
guys,
man.
we're not in Kansas anymore.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Someone in the chat said, sorry, I can't pronounce it, but they'll change something, and that brings his wife back. Like
Yeah.
he kept trying so hard, maybe it'll be an
'cause we-
indirect result.
Yeah.
It's sort
yeah.
of like it's like any relationship. When you don't try, it always happens.
Exactly. When you're not looking for that special someone, that's when you find them.
And then what if they bring her back and then she's like part of the mix and then she like, you know, how
Awkward.
like awkward is that?
Yeah.
Or just, you know, to
Yeah.
relate though that she's Rittenhouse or, you know, something completely
Oh.
crazy. I don't know.
Why must you make my brain hurt? Can you imagine? You've been
Yeah.
with Rittenhouse all along. That's why she died. Oh
Like,
my
dang
god.
it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we should have left you dead. Now we can't even go back and kill you again. Like this is
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
but then
is
that
unfortunate.
would be the turning point for Wyatt's character if he had to actually
Yeah.
kill his lady
That's
because she was
tough.
part of Rittenhouse or knew something about Rittenhouse or something along those
Dun,
lines.
dun, dun. Well, because her murder was a bit mysterious. We found.
I don't remember how she died.
Well, it was like
In a car
went
accident.
missing. No, she
was it a car accident?
She
Oh,
went
I
missing.
felt it was a
Yes.
murder.
Oh, did she? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, like
Oh,
her
yeah,
and Wyatt
you're
got
right.
into a tough.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
left.
yeah.
But he
Yeah.
went
found
back
the
to get
killer,
her.
Yeah.
supposedly in jail, and then they're
He
like,
wasn't
well,
the-
there's more to it.
Yeah.
It wasn't really
I need to
him.
rewatch the season.
Yeah.
I don't
first
think he
season
was
again.
the killer.
Yeah.
I don't think he was the killer at all.
So.
Yeah, because they tried to
Oh,
fix it.
yeah, in the 80s.
That's
Yes.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I knew there was a part of that because I knew it was
Yeah.
murder because I thought that she got into a car accident, but it was because like it was planned. But,
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be interesting.
We do see at the end, though, they're able to kind of reconfigure and track where the mothership's movements went. And
Yeah.
so they see all these spots in time that they put their sleeper agents
Yes.
in. But if they want to get a leg up on this, they need only one man can help them.
Just
That's
one.
Garcia Flynn.
Which I saw that coming. I was like,
Yeah.
you can't just leave
Yeah.
him out. Like that's not how this
No.
works. He has to.
We gotta make things more complicated.
Yeah. I just want to know what this journal says. Like, can we just flip to the end?
Just
Yeah.
open it up. Just
Can
like
we
leave
just,
it out.
yeah.
No,
Like,
it's like River Doctor Who. No spoilers.
Ah,
jeez.
yeah.
That's
I'm with you
true.
on that one.
Yeah, because he might be like, no. Because he generally did like, no, I'm not going to
Yeah.
show you ahead of time.
Yeah, which is fine, but at the same
But
time,
wouldn't that
I
also
like-
change the future? Because then either you're going towards
Well,
it or
we always
yeah,
talked about
kinda-
that last season. They
yeah.
kept changing stuff, but the journal never changed.
Yeah,
at least to
right.
our
Yeah,
knowledge.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know.
maybe because
Right.
that's out of time.
And
That's
Maybe,
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
And then how did he get it if it was supposed to be in the future?
It's a lot. There's a lot
Yeah.
of timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff, and it's
Yeah.
just like, you know.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's still a
And then,
good show.
do we think anything has changed at this point? Because they said there's been all these visits.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
the
I
other
don't
problem is
think
because
so.
we couldn't
Well, they're
even
in
get
a
to explore
bunker.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't even see what's going on outside. And I was like, oh, I see what you're doing, Timeless. I see what you're doing. Okay.
What's interesting is that
Yeah.
the lifeboat says 3, and there's certainly going to be more than 3 people available for missions.
Yeah.
So we are probably going to see some different combinations of people going back in time, which would be a nice kind of little different
Yeah.
change of pace. And to see Garcia Flynn going out on some missions with
Maybe
them.
they could reconfigure the lifeboat.
Gia
Yeah.
going out on
Do
missions
4.
too, maybe.
Yeah.
No,
And-
she needs to get well.
And
she
the
can't be traveling.
mothership, right? And the mothership, we've seen 4. We've seen how many? how many people can the mothership hold?
I think it's supposed to be 3, but I think we've done
I think
4.
mothership can do
Said
more.
4.
The lifeboat is less.
Yeah.
Oh, the mothership. I thought you said the lifeboat. Okay.
Yeah,
No, I think the mothership is
No,
at
the
least
mothership is
4.
definitely more than, at least 4.
We've seen us at least
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we could have seen 5 yet. I can't remember.
I don't think
at this
so.
I
point.
don't know.
I don't
but
think
yeah,
so.
lifeboat. They point out just
It's
3.
3 only.
But
yeah.
maybe
was
they
just-
can redo something.
I know that we only have a little bit of time left, but I want to talk about the fact that when they left, because he was still on the stretcher when they were backing away, and then of course, like as soon as they get out of range, they go up, and I was like, where did you put him? In the mothership.
Yeah.
Did you have to actually take him off the stretcher and like, strap him in?
Probably.
Like I was like, how did you do that?
2 ladies carried a like.
I mean, no. I mean, they're
heavyweight
probably
body.
very strong. I mean,
yeah.
Emma's lived in a cabin for what,
Yeah.
10 years? So like, she knows
But
what
still,
she's doing.
someone who's not awake and trying to move a person,
that's
it's very heavy.
I would have just tapped him like, "Hey, yo, it's
Yeah.
time to hey, I
buddy.
need you to get.
Come on,
Hey,
you gotta come in.
sleepyhead,
Yeah,
time to
right.
get up. I just thought it was funny because it was so quick. I know that because
Yeah.
it's editing wise, but I just thought it was really
Yeah.
funny how it was
Yeah.
like, okay, we're backing up now, and he's like, the mothership is over here, but the stretcher's like all the way back here, so they had to run up, pick him up, run back, and then start it up, and then go.
All right, cut. Places everyone.
I just thought it was funny.
Well,
Pokeball.
Pokeball.
Yes.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
Pokeball rules. I'll take that. Yeah.
As we're getting ready to wrap up, rapid fire prediction before we get out of here.
Your AfterBuzz TV
Yeah,
prediction.
you go. Who wants to go?
I mean, I've got my speech. I'm
Actually,
sticking
wait.
with my
Have we
speech.
said
Yeah,
the
it's a good
prediction that
speech.
Flynn was Lucy's child from the future? Have we said that?
No,
Okay.
but I think
I
think
kinda
we
had
I
thought
I
that
thought we disproved
We
that.
met
no?
Yeah,
his.
'cause
we met
we met
his
his mom.
mother.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's also been like a year.
There needs to be
first season
some
came out.
connect. I want something. I want the payoff to be good. Mm-hmm. I don't have a prediction on it, but that's what I want from the show. I need like when we finally get why Flynn is so obsessed with Lucy and why the connection's so strong.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like,
I'm hoping that that's how, at least
Not
like,
just
maybe
really.
maybe they were colleagues or something. Maybe in the future, I have no idea. But yeah, I agree with you. I want there
more.
to be a payoff for that.
something strong.
But
I
all
did
know
like the
is-
grandfather payoff though. That was
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
That was really
But
good.
I
A
do-
great great grandfather for Lucy.
Yeah, for
Great,
Lucy.
great.
Is it
Yeah.
2 or 1?
2. Great, just great.
Yeah.
Oh, just great. So
Yeah.
1. Okay.
Exceptional grandfather.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I do think like if it's got to kind of justify the new status quo, because if Flynn knew that he was going to get arrested and incarcerated, that would be in the journal, and he would have flipped through all of that journal that Lucy would have gave him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So clearly.
I think we're off the rails in terms of what that
so
journal can really
cool.
tell us in terms of the future.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
I just think Gia is more powerful.
She's
As
the
Gia
key.
and Emma, something is going to happen where Gia is going to be the answer to all, and that's
Yes.
my input. So
I need Lucy to have a face off with Emma, either kill her or
Yes.
just a really good face off.
I kind of like Emma's a love to hate for me.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I want a payoff at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she can't continue into the next
Yeah.
season. I can't do that.
It's
But
not
yeah,
like we
great.
want Lucy running around killing people, but Emma's proved herself to be
no,
someone
no.
that
Yeah.
like.
But that's
no,
what I
she's
want.
a bad person. She's gonna keep killing people.
Yeah,
so.
I want
Right.
it to be like that. Lucy has hit that point of just like, you know, she's grown as a character, especially because you know from last season she was sticking to one
Yeah.
thing, which was you know find Amy.
Yep.
But she didn't really grow as a character. I want this.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that would be really great to see her change and be like, you know, when we first had a mission together, you made me kill someone who was innocent. Now
Yeah.
I'm gonna, you know,
Right.
show you how I really am. I don't know, something like that. Some sort of like really big character payoff for that for her.
Yeah, I definitely think
And then I want to see how Lucy and Wyatt's relationship gets shaky because of either the girlfriend or
Yeah.
wife.
Wife.
Girlfriend,
Wife.
wife, or something else that comes up, and they have to stand the test of time
That'd
to
be really
to
good.
figure that out.
Ah.
Did not mean to do that,
you
but
go.
yes, you know what I mean.
Beautiful. Well, on that pun, we're going to end this episode of the Timeless After Show. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Of course, you can like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody, for hopping in the chat. Of course, if you're watching afterwards, feel free to comment down below. If you want to get in touch with any of us, then where can they find you?
You can find me, Takira Shabrae, on Instagram and Twitter at Takira_Shabrae.
And you can find me online at Kari Lane. That's KARIDLANE.
And you can find me, I'm Alexis Torres, at atorres890. That's ATORRES 890.
Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie. Folks, that's it for this episode of the Timeless After Show. We'll be back here next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, for another episode right here on AfterBuzz TV.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.